Welcome, race fans, here to the Watkins Glen International Raceway. It's the USRA right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, it's the Infinite Hero 250 here at the Glen, presented tonight by Jason Young. As always, it's Muth in the booth. Right side of me right here is Jarrett Riker. Jarrett, it's the upstate New York. It's the wine capital of the East Coast here, and it's going to put on one heck of a battle.
That's right, Roger. I can't wait to get tonight's race started. A little bit different than just turning left all night. We're going to be doing some left and right-hand turns, and like I said, can't wait to get this race underway.
Yeah, all I believe 30 drivers here tonight, and this is one of the guys that we're going to have to keep an eye on right here, the number 5 of Jim Ott. We know he's pretty quick on the oval side of things. The question coming in tonight that's been in a lot of people's mind, though, is how good can the number 5 of Jim Ott be here when he's got to make right-hand turns for 75 laps? 10 minutes of qualifying is started. As you see, Jim started to roll away, but he was not quite ready to drop the hammer. But here's the man who has just about won everything here the last couple of weeks. That's going to be the 58 here, Margaritaville, the driver of Justin Wilson. Jarrett, this man has put on a blistering show in the ovals, and then on Tuesday night with the Xfinity side of things here for the USRA, Justin Wilson also went out there and dominated that one.
Yeah, Justin Wilson really been putting on shows lately, racking up the wins. And I expect him to be fighting for this win here tonight at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it's going to be not a question of if he's going to do good. It'll be a question of if he can actually stay on the blacktop here tonight and out of trouble. So as you see him coming down, he's not quite on the clock yet. It is a very large track here for Watkins Glen. It is a 2.42-mile circuit. They are using the Cup circuit. You did see Justin Wilson a little bit ago come through the bus stop as he finally comes through the final turn. 8 turns here tonight from Watkins Glen. As you see Wilson come down the front stretch, green flag will be in the air. He is now officially on the clock here for his first timed lap. Going to see a couple different strategies here. A couple guys go out early here in qualifying like Wilson. You might see a couple guys elect, they got 10 minutes to put in a qualifying time. They might wait a little bit to put in a little bit of a qualifying time. Let's see who else is out there. Here comes the 36, the Sim Speed Shop driver Jason Eisenhower as he comes off the final turn. Pennsylvania native, not too far from the Watkins Glen International Raceway, about a 3-hour drive from home from Eisenhower, and well, he's going to see if he can keep the Sim Speed Shop car up front here tonight.
Also got the 81 of Dan Dill out there on track, trying to put in a good qualifying run as he comes down to take the green flag.
Oh, sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties right there for a second, but qualifying still underway. Let's check out and see who out there on track. The Pennsylvania, another Pennsylvania native, Jared. It seems like they're all kind of invading here into the USRA. Here's the number 40 of Josiah Millen out there on track. Not typically a road course ringer, one of those guys you would more likely see out there ripping around on a dirt track or a short track, but the 40 of Millen here tonight to try and wrangle this 8-turn road course.
Yeah, talking earlier to Josiah Millen, he seemed pretty pumped up for this race, and we'll just have to see how he does here in qualifying.
Yeah, he is on the clock now with this number 40. See where he's going to be coming across the board in just a moment. Right now, let's drop it down so you can see where your favorite driver is. The 58 of Wilson right now has the quick time as Millen's going to come across the starting line. Let's see where he goes. Looks like the 40 of Millen may have dipped a wheel off the racing surface. No time for the driver of that number 40. So no time allotted for the number 40 of Millen. Could be a long night if you have to start out towards the back. Dan Dill, we were watching him just a little bit ago before we had a little bit of our technical difficulties. He is qualified right now in P number 16. Let's take a quick peek here at the number 25 of Jordan Smith as you see him going down through the bus stop. The bright yellow Menards Toyota here. Missed him a couple weeks ago. We did not get to talk to him from Texas when we were down there for the Longhorn 250, which was presented by Jordan Smith. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make that race, but he's here for Watkins Glen for the Infinite Hero 250, so good to see him out here on track. He is 12th right now on the boards as he's coming through the final corners here. Is he going to be able to pick up any more positions? Can he weasel his way inside the top 5? We're about to find out here in just a moment as he comes across the line. A little bit slower on lap number 2 for Jordan Smith. Josiah Millen did come across the line there. He is in your 13th spot right behind Jordan Smith, so he has used up his 2 laps. Jeff Pogo has put in a time. He is 7th right now on his first lap. Let's see here as he is coming through the final few corners here to finish up qualifying for himself. Let's see where little Jeff Pogo is going to come in tonight here. Jeff Pogo goes a little bit quicker, but not enough to advance his position. He'll still sit 7th on the board. Cody Levitt, new colors on the side of the 38 here. Right now, 13th on his first lap for the Las Vegas kid. He was probably one of the most excited, amped up drivers, Jarrett, when he saw Watkins Glen on the schedule.
Yeah, Cody Levitt, definitely one of the wheelmen here in the USRA. Definitely contender every track we come to, no matter what kind of track it is. And looking to see a pretty strong run here out of Cody Levitt today.
Levitt looking pretty good as he came through the bus stop. A lot of tape here today from Watkins Glen as Levitt dips the tires off the left-hand side of the track. Might have gave him a little bit of an X there. We're not quite sure. Hear him shifting gears here at Watkins Glen as he's coming through the final 2 turns. That time definitely dipped the right-hand side tires off into the grass. Sideways off the final corner. You can tell he is letting everything hang out here at Watkins Glen on a qualifying attempt. A little bit quicker, or actually last lap not going to count for Cody Levitt, so one and done here. So right now at the top of the charts, it is Justin Wilson, Chris Brown, Aaron Davidson after missing a week or 2 here. Back in action with the 03 machine. He finds himself sitting in the 3rd spot. Stephen Holmes, one of those guys to watch out for. He is a road racer, so he also had this race scheduled on his calendar. He sits 4th. Aaron Daffler rounds out the top 5, but we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to get our national anthem played, and we'll be right back here from Watkins Glen tonight for the Infinite Hero or 250 presented by.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof
Welcome back here to the Watkins Glen International Raceway here, like for the Infinite Hero 250 tonight, presented by Jason Young. These guys have taken to the grid here for the Infinite Hero 250. Let's see if we can take you through tonight's starting lineup. Justin Wilson wins the pole. He's going to pick up right where he left off on Tuesday night, P number 1. Chris Brown is shown right there, P2. Third is going to go to Aaron Davidson. Fourth is the number 9 here tonight of Stephen Holmes. Fifth going to be Aaron Daffler. He's going to look to rebound to try and see if he can take on that 58 Margaritaville car here tonight. He'll roll off in the 5th spot. Eric Holly will roll off 6th. 7th going to go to Jeff Pogo. Jamie Leach going to roll off in 8th. 9th going to go to Chase Berry in the 21, and rounding out that top 10 going to be the number 5 here of Jim Ott.
Rolling off in the 11th position tonight will be the 20 of Luke LaFaro. 25 of Jordan Smith starting in this 12th position tonight. The 38 of Cody Levitt will be rolling off in the 13th position. 14th will be the 40 of Josiah Millen. The 30 of David Carmen will be rolling off in the 15th spot. Starting 16th will be the 7 of Michael Bromley. And starting 17th will be the 33 of Ira Kohlhaas. Rolling off in the 18th position tonight will be the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. The 81 of Dan Dill will be starting in the 19th position, and the 29 of Jason Young rolling off in the 20th position.
21st here tonight going to be the 44 of Jason Harrison. 31 of Donald Bennett going to roll off in the 22nd position. 23rd here tonight going to be the number 90 of Michael Sturgill, and Jared Hagedorn going to roll off 24th. 25th going to go to the 64 here of John Mullins, and the 19 to Skip Carmen in 26th. 27th tonight, and rounding out our 27 car field here from Watkins Glen, going to be the 68 of Miroslav Bach. That's how they're going to line up here tonight from Watkins Glen, and we're about to have one heck of a battle, Jarrett. It's going to be a long race, 75 laps the distance here tonight for these drivers, and side-by-side racing. We're going to see it here down in the turn 1, but then the question is, how long are they going to be able to push the envelope?
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a lot of questions asked here tonight on this 8-turn road course, and I can't wait for them to drop the green flag and get this action going.
That green flag is about to drop as you see him coming down the straightaway here before the final 2 corners. It's a left-hander into a right-hander before we bring them down to the front stretch. Well, we got to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight to watch the Infinite Hero 250 tonight, brought to us by Jason Young. And, well, pace car about to make the right-hand turn here, and that's probably going to be the last time we will actually see that pace car here tonight, as the green flag is in the air. As you see him, you hear him, all coming up through the gears down towards turn number 1. Oh, look at them all spread out. Here they come right now. Wilson has that top spot. Brown, everybody looks pretty clear coming through. This Wilson has a pretty good run coming up through the S's already.
Yeah, working their way up through the S's. Wilson's starting to pull a gap on the 1 of Chris Brown. And you have the 3 of Aaron Davidson behind him, followed by the 9 of Stephen Holmes as they come up to the bus stop.
Yeah, everybody up through the S's. Oh, the 33 of, I believe that's Ira Kohlhaas, may have been turned around, looking in the wrong direction. Everybody else coming through the bus stop right now, looking pretty good. The question is going to be, what happened to Ira Kohlhaas? We're going to have to definitely take our first replay here tonight and take a check at what happened to Kohlhaas comes up through the S's. We're looking at that maroon and black car, the 33 of the Classic Trophies car, up through the S's. What happened to Kohlhaas? The car just darted right, then back left, and unfortunately, I believe that might have been the 29 of Jason Young in the Infinite Heroes car, and then Jared Hagedorn also nowhere to go with the Nebraska Pitbull car. Unfortunately, a lot of guys wrapped up in that one right off the start. But the first lap here going to be led by the 58 of Wilson, who's been down to turn number 1 already.
And behind them, the 03 of Davidson made a move on the 1 of Chris Brown coming down to turn 1 and will take the second position away from the 1 of Chris Brown. He will try and get after the 58 of Wilson.
So a lot of things happening early and pretty quick here, but they are single filed out. It's Wilson, it's Davidson, Brown, Daffler, Holmes, Pogo, Holly, Berry. Oh, there we go with the Holly Berry already here. And then it's Leach and LaFaro. That's going to be the rounding out the top 10. Chris Brown is side by side with the number 3 of Daffler. Daffler going to get to the inside there. and he is going to clear him down the straightaway. So now Aaron Daffler, who ran second place for the most of Tuesday night's race, right now finds himself running third.
Yeah, the one of Chris Brown that started second, back to the fourth position. Maybe something not to his liking right now at the start of this race. See if he can work his way back up to that second position.
Yeah, and Chris Brown may be thinking right now, driver of that number 1 car out of Kokomo, Indiana, that it's just a little too early. He ran here because I believe that's the 7 of that Bromley having a little bit of issues down there. He's down on pit road right now, showing 1 lap down. It looks like he's just waiting for everybody to go around him, and then he will bring out the Wally number 7. That's Michael Bromley there from Bromley Designs, having a little bit of issues here at the initial start of this one.
Yeah, it's been a tough start to this race for some of these guys. Jordan Smith, I believe, having some computer issues, not being able to make the call. I believe he's still not out in that track.
That's a rough one for Jordan Smith. Right now, he is the only driver that is sitting right now in the hauler, actually. I don't believe the car even got to the grid as he's 2 laps down. Still here, but 2 laps down in the hauler. Chase Berry in the 21 machine, who is running in the 8th position for the time being, is trying to knock on the back door here of Eric Holly. Holly is one of those drivers who really likes to run road courses. As here comes the 21 of Berry. He's also a road course ringer in his own right, as he's going to look to the inside here in turn 1. Holly goes a little bit wide. They're going to go side by side, but no, now the 21 of Berry will take the position. When Berry took the position, well, here came the other Ohio native right down the road from him, the number 2 of Jamie Leach. But up coming through the S's, just not enough room for 2 cars side by side through the S's.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more narrow here than your typical speedways, as the 2 of Leach not being able to make the move on Holly. Looking for Leach to have a good run here tonight. Had a couple of tough weeks the last few weeks.
Well, right now, Jamie Leach running in the 9th position. Luke LaFaro, who is your 2nd place in the point standings, lost it last week after a little bit of a dismal performance from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He got leapfrogged by Jeff Pogo. Pogo now leads the points. 6-point gap, though. You can make that up here at Watkins Glen. Just somebody making one mistake, flip of a tire off the asphalt, that could really, ruin a night. And so Luke LaFaro at this point is just trying to have a clean race here and try and not, lose any more points to Jeff Pogo.
Yeah, definitely don't want to lose any more points than you have to at a race if you can help it, as the 40 of Josiah Milton making the move on Jim Ott down to turn 1, but Josiah goes a little wide and letting the door open for Ott to come underneath, but Josiah pulls back around him as they come through the S's.
Yeah, this is the battle for the 11th and the 12th position. Millen went to the inside in turn 1. Jim Ott crossed him over, but Millen had the position coming up through the S's as Ott is all over the back bumper of that number 40. Down into the bus stop. Who's going to get through the bus stop a little bit cleaner? Looks like Millen right now has a little bit of advantage coming through that bus stop. He pulls about 3-4 car lengths real quick on the number 5 of Jim Ott as they come through that carousel. Looking right behind that battle, though, there is the 38 of Cody Levitt. He is back here. He's trying to find his way through this field yet. He's starting to close the gap on the number 5 of Jim Ott here. Clear sailing so far for a lot of drivers. 22 drivers still on the lead lap here from Watkins Glen. Remember, Ira Kohlhaas, Jason Young, and Jared Hagedorn getting all collected coming through the SS on lap number 1. So right now they are sitting in the pits. Jared Hagedorn did drive the number 22 back to pit road. Kohlhaas and Young, though, having to take the tow. Everybody getting pretty spread out on this little bit of a run. We're still watching the 38 of Cody Levitt as the 40 of Millen has started to drive away by about a second right now. Gap over him and Jim Ott as you still see him out there. Just kind of hanging out in front of Jim Ott. Cody Levitt hanging right on that back bumper as they come through the bus stop there on the backstretch. Levitt with a little bit of a wiggle, though, off the corner. It's going to let Jim Ott still have the position. let's take a quick peek and look and see where Justin Wilson is. There he is, coming down the front stretch with his Margarita car. Right now has about a 1.5-second gap over the Red Bull 03 of Aaron Davidson. And it's about a 1.5 back till you can find, well, that's the 3 right there coming up through the S's. That's AA Ron. Aaron Daffler in the number 3 machine running third, right behind him by about a second. That is going to be the number 1 of Chris Brown. Jeff Pogo runs a 1.5 off the back bumper of the number 1 of Chris Brown. He runs there in 5th, and about a 1/2 second back of Pogo, going to be his teammate there, the number 9 of Stephen Holmes. Those two right there running 5th and 6th. They run on a team together here on, Tuesdays and Thursdays, but they also have a USRA endurance team that runs together, and they run the 24 hours of Daytona. I believe they ran Bathurst also, and I believe there's another one in there that I may be mistaken if it was Road America or Road Atlanta. I forget at this point, but they like to make right-hand turns, and right now they both find themselves inside the top 6. Chase Berry, who has got around Eric Holly about 4 laps ago, has kind of set sail from Eric Holly. Berry runs right now in the 7th position, and Eric Holly, though, sitting back here running in that 8th position. He is part of that USRA endurance team. And then you got Jamie Leach running 9th, and Luke LaFaro still running 10th, so nothing has changed in the top 10. All the moving that has happened was right behind them. You saw Josiah Millen get around the number 5 of Jim Ott. That was for the 11th position. Jim Ott runs in the 12th position, and Cody Levitt right there in 13th.
It looks like Cody Levitt trying to make another run at Jim Ott here as they come up through the S's down the backstretch towards the bus stop.
Yeah, Cody having a little bit of a blinking issue as he came up over the hill there from the S's, trying to close to the back bumper of that Pure Ink number 5 out of Michigan.
Got the 81 of Dan Dill trying to make a move on the 90 of Michael Sturgill as they come through the bus stop. This is battle for 15th. Come through the carousel. Dill just not close enough to make a move on the 90 of Sturgill.
Yeah, some new colors on the 81 of Dan Dill. I believe that's the St. Louis Cardinal colors. I don't know if that's going to help him here from Watkins Glen or not, but he's trying. Right now, Dan Dill, not one of those road course guys that typically like to make right-hand turns, but he's doing pretty good. He's battling to try and get into the top 15 here. Question being, can he keep the tires under that St. Louis Cardinals Ford Mustang?
Looks like the 2 of Jamie Leach trying to make a move on the 8 of Holly as they come through the carousel. He's got to be careful because the 20 of Luke Fafaro already get by both of them if they make a mistake.
Yeah, just one mistake by Holly could make him lose 2 positions as the Great Lake Brewing number 2 of Jamie Leach is right there on the back bumper. Let's see if maybe Jamie Leach, as it actually looks like there might be a little bit of a door scrape on the right-hand side of that number 2 of Jamie Leach. Maybe he got doored somewhere along the line in the early goings of this one. I don't think it's going to really hurt him too much. There are some long straightaways here from Watkins Glen, as the front stretch is actually a pretty long stretch. And you got the back stretch, and then you got that long straightaway coming down to the final 2 corners. It looks like actually Jamie Leach got through, along with Luke LaFaro there, through turn 1 a little bit better than Eric Holly, but nowhere to go as they got to the S's.
Yeah, definitely nowhere to go. As here comes the 20 of the Lafaro. Leach ran a little wide as they came up out of the S's, allowing Lafaro to catch up. And Jamie pulls that gap back out a little bit. They're about spread out even as they come through the carousel.
And while we have a moment here in this race, let's see if we can get a word in with Jason Young. Jason Young, you got a copy?
Loud and clear. How are you?
Well, here we are, Jason, on the mics here. Looks like an early night for the 29 car. Tell us what happened there on that first handful of laps there coming up through the S's.
Well, to be honest with you, I think I saw Ira I think he caught the curbing a little too aggressively or got over in the grass or something. And this basically one-way ticket to being done for the night for that guy. And when he tried to save it, I thought he had it, so I just stayed in the gas and tried to get around the outside of him, but he ended up coming right back across and collected a couple other guys, and we were way done. So it sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is early. Tonight's race, though, was brought to us by you, Jason. Tell us why you picked the Infinite Heroes here to put their name on the sponsorship for this race from Watkins Glen.
Well, I've dealt a little bit with America's veterans through some programs I've been a part of in various ways, and I'm the son of two veterans. My sister and my brother-in-law both served in the United States Air Force, and so veterans and how they're handled is very important to me. And part of that was an opportunity came up where I was able to field the Infinite Hero car this season, and that was really awesome that I could get their name out there in our league, and the opportunity came available to sponsor a race. And I talked with them about it, and they said they'd be on board if I did it, and so I put up the cash and got their name on this race. And just so that everybody knows, it's kind of the same deal if you're familiar with Jack Beckman's Funny Car team. Infinite Hero does not actually pay me at all. This was something that I was able to do through some good fortune, and I just wanted to get their name out there because I really like what they do for our veterans after they've done so much for us. Excuse me.
Yeah, our veterans, battle far and abroad for all of us here to come out on just say a Thursday night like we do here with the USRA as we watch a couple of your other competitors out there. Wilson still has that 1.7 gap over Davidson and Daffner. But, all of our heroes, and I believe, Jason, am I not wrong, you also are in the service yourself?
I am not. I was part of the ROTC program for a couple of years, which is not actually a part of the service in the extent that I was in it. I know there are several of our members that are currently active duty. I believe Michael Bromley is, and Jordan Smith is also currently a ROTC cadet, about a year and a half out from commissioning into the Air Force. I think there's a few others that are veterans. Chris Brown, I know for a fact, was in the Marine Corps, and I know there's a few others. And I think it's really cool that I can kind of do this and bring some light to our veterans.
Absolutely. It's a great program, the Infinite Heroes, and what they do for our soldiers who have come back and join us in the civilian life with everything they have gone through. And, well, Jason, we do appreciate everything you're doing to help spread the word and good fortune for them also. And we do also thank all the drivers that are here in the USRA, like Chris Brown and Bromley. And I think there is a couple others, maybe John Mullins also spending some time, and you had said Jordan Smith also. So we do thank all of them. And also, Jason, thanks for coming up here and spending a couple laps with us here in the booth. Is there any chance that you can get that 29 machine back out there on track?
I'm going to stay in the session. We'll see. It's pretty beat up, but if we can turn at least a few laps, try and earn a few points tonight, we'll see what we can come up with.
All right, well, Jason, we're going to let you go here. And good luck if you can get back out there. If not, we'll catch you next week from Darlington.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Keep it up.
Well, there you heard from Jason Young, driver of the 29 here tonight. Not the way he wanted to start his event here from Watkins Glen, Jarrett, but nonetheless, it's still Wilson out front dominating.
Yeah, tough break for the 29 of Jason Young. And Justin Wilson, I mean, what can you say? Just out here turning laps and just, like you said, dominating this whole race.
Yeah, right now, we're about halfway, I believe, until we're going to see the first round of green flag pit stops. Every pit stop here tonight from Watkins Glen will be a green flag pit stops. No caution flags. Just going to be local caution flags here. And, well, Wilson, as he comes through the final corner here, back onto the front stretch to complete lap number 14. He has led every lap. Looks like the 7 of Bromley is down pit road. It looks like the 40 of Millen has decided to leave pit road. So a couple guys kind of off sequence from your leaders. Josiah Millen is, I believe, 4 laps down as he comes to a complete stop to allow your leaders of Wilson, Davidson, and Daffler all to come on by. Chris Brown's also going to come on by before Josiah Millen brings the number 40 back out onto the racing surface.
Yeah, tough break for the 40 of Millen running in the top 10 there. Not sure exactly what happened to him, but tough start to this race.
Yeah, it looks like all the body panels are still on that number 40 East Penn manufacturing car. but a little bit of a crinkled up on the right front fender. Definitely been into a wall at one point here tonight. The pink numbers on the 40 car, he thought after last week from Indianapolis were going to bring him a little bit of good luck and good fortune. Unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to happen here tonight.
Looks like the 2 of Leach does not want to give up on that 8 car of Holly, as he was right on him as they came through. They're coming through the carousel, but here comes the 20 of Lafaro as they come down the corner, as they come down to, I believe that's turn 7. Still nobody able to make a move on each other as they come into turn 8.
Yeah, you can really set somebody up here coming through 7 and 8 down the front stretch. If you can get a good drive off turn 8, as you see LaFaro go a little bit wider than Jamie Leach as they come down the front stretch here. It's still Holly running in the 7th position, Leach in the 8th position. If you get a good run out of turn 8, you can really dive down into the corner. Oh, LaFaro going to lock him up almost into the back bumper there with number 2 of Jamie Leach down into turn 1. He got that DC Solar 20 car, though, load up before he found the back bumper of the Great Lakes Brewing number 2. But look how both those drivers closed up real close in turn 1 on Eric Holly, as Holly was a little bit slower. But look at Holly pull the gap with that Ford Mustang as he comes up through the S's.
Yeah, Holly's definitely starting to pull a gap right now as they come through the bus stop. Still nobody able to gain an inch. Looks like Leach gained a little bit as they come through the carousel. Goes a little wider than Holly, and looks like LaFaro goes a little wider than Leach. And they all kind of spread out evenly as they head down to turn 9 or turn 7.
Turn 9? Did we make a new corner here?
We might have on my track map, but I believe that was turn 7. Now they're coming to turn 8.
Well, these drivers all over the track. Some of these guys might be making 9 turns out there tonight. You never know. You just never know when we come to a road course, as you see him down the front stretch once again. Leach closing the gap hard down into turn 1. Can he drive under Holly? Holly was a little bit wider than him through turn number 1. He is not going to back up through the S's. They're going to go. Holly right now has the advantage, about a car length, half a car length over the number 2 of Jamie Leach, as you can actually see him extend that back through the right-hander there. Eric Holly, it's like he kind of hit the nitrous button and just kind of took off down the backstretch. Now they go.
Yeah, Holly really seems to pull really good down that backstretch in that Ford Mustang. But then as you come through the corners, it looks like Leach starts to gain a little bit. And just each driver has their own section of the track that they're good at. Yeah,
LaFaro's a little bit better, usually coming through the final 2 turns here as we're coming down to them 7 and 8. LaFaro kind of pulls a little bit. He also gets good down into turn number 1. But Holly up through the S's and through that bus stop is where he makes all that time back up for that Ford Mustang. A little bit more power under the Ford Mustangs, but a little bit more stable for the Chevy drivers. And well, the Toyota drivers, you kind of have them a little bit in between all of them. Back down into turn number 1 they go. That time Jamie Leach a little bit wide, as Luke LaFaro's going to be right back onto the back bumper of the number 2. Just nowhere to go before he gets to the S's, and the S's not the place to try and set up a pass. You can try and set one up coming out of the S's, just not going in. Holly going to pull a little bit. About, well, we're going to call it about a half-second gap, as there is the number 7 of Bromley. He's going to pull over and allow these leaders to continue their battle. Remember, this is the battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. And they are your closest drivers. Jarrett, you can attest to it. Looking at the timing and scoring, these are your closest 3 drivers on the entire track.
Yeah, these are the 3 drivers that are battling the closest, as you got Justin Wilson out front, about a second and a half on Davidson. But it looks like the 20 of LaFaro still looking to make a move on the 2 of Leach, as they come in through turn 7 down in turn 8. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to be close enough to make a move coming out of 8 down, coming to the start-finish line.
Yeah, Holly started to really open it up. Jamie Leach had a little bit of a difficult time last lap, and doesn't look like he's going to close the gap. He closes it up a little bit that time down into turn 1, as Holly sideways almost he's into the grass. He's able to save the 8 car, but he was almost into the guardrail there coming out of turn number 1. He just got back to the throttle a little bit sooner, trying to push the envelope, and now he has lost 2 positions with 1 little slip up.
Yeah, that was definitely a costly error by Holly, but good driving by Holly also to keep it out of the guardrail. and keep on going here.
Let's see if we can throw it back and actually watch that once again. Maybe we can actually go on board with Eric Holly here. Let's go through the cockpit view here of the A car through turn 1. You heard it when he went back to the throttle on the rumble strip and then just kind of had to feather it through the grass. He is lucky that that number 8 car didn't kind of hook up and go right back to the right-hand side. He could have took out Luke LaFaro and Jamie Leach, but now Leach going to take the 7th position. LaFaro is in 8th, and Holly now falls back to the 9th position. The question is going to be, Josiah Millen coming out of turn number 8 sideways into the inside guardrail. He's going to back it up, and he'll put the 40 down pit road here.
Yeah, Josiah Millen having a rough day here at Watkins Glen. Not sure if he's going to be able to come back from that one.
Yeah, right now he's running in the 22nd position, shown 4 laps down. He's in a battle on track if you go by lap counts with the number 7 of Michael Bromley. And Bromley is out there with his Wally car, and it looked like he got a Wally for sure on the front end of that number 7. A lot of the cars you're going to see out here tonight, though, Michael Bromley has had his hands on it, his paintbrush on it, as you see him come through that carousel right now. As actually looking right ahead of them, something has happened to 3 wide battle down the backstretch here. Jason Arison, Luke LaFaro making contact. I was about to talk about how Jamie Leach looked like he had come through the bus stop and gave back a lot of time to Eric Holly because that gap was closing quick. And then they went 3 wide, Luke LaFaro, Jamie Leach, and then the 44 of Jason Arison. And you saw it all unfold. What happened there?
Yeah, 3 wide isn't something you typically see here at Watkins Glen. Great driving by those guys to keep it clean. But LaFaro kind of lost out on that one. He was side by side with Leach and just couldn't get around him.
Yeah, Luke LaFaro could have had clear track just about in front of him, as now you see as he closes back up onto Jamie Leach coming up through the S's. They're trying to work around the lap down car. That is going to be the 36 of Jason Eisenhower, the Sim Speed Shop sponsored 36 driver. Not having the go of it here from Watkins Glen. A little bit of left front damage on that Sim Speed Shop car as he a little bit wide through the bus stop. He had said, he put out on social media before the race that he was not one of the drivers. It looks like actually somebody's been into the back bumper of that Sim Speed Shop 36, but he was not looking forward to making right-hand turns here tonight. He was going to be rolling around the back of the field here, just trying to gather laps, trying to gather points towards the end of the season championship.
Yeah, as he's not the only car lapped down, as there's only 14 drivers left on the lead lap. This is one of those races where I guess it's just a matter of survival, Roger.
It is, and the last driver you're talking about, the 14th place car on the lead lap. That's going to be the 81 of Dan Dillon. Right now he only has about a 5-second gap back to your leader of Justin Wilson. Wilson is starting to really nibble into that gap between those two drivers. So once he does make it to Dan Dill, you can see Wilson back there in the background of that camera shot. Once he does get to Dan Dill, that'll leave then 13 drivers. Michael Sturgill will be the last driver, then 1 lap down. You saw the 33. Ira Kohlhaas is back out onto the track. There is no front bumper on that 33. I believe there's no rear bumper on the 33. I don't believe there's a spoiler or a deck lid on that 33. Jarrett, that car looks like one of those Northeast modifieds.
Yeah, he's really going to have a hard time with the handling of that car with no spoiler or splitter.
Yeah, a little bit of a different look for the driver of the 33. Remember we were talking about Michael Bromley? He actually designed that car that you're seeing. It's a little bit tore up, so it's a little bit rough to see at this point. But he did decide to pull out this paint scheme. It is a throwback a little bit here, if you will. J.D. McDuff, I believe it is a little bit of a throwback to him as you see Dan Dill work to the inside of that one. Ivor Kohlhaas, one of the drivers that really loves his modifieds, also loves throwback paint schemes, and Big Country right now is kind of in a big hurting on that car.
Yeah, it's definitely been a rough night for the 33 of Ivor Kohlhaas. But see if he can bounce back maybe next week, because this night is A little over for him.
Yeah, you saw our leader here, the 58 of Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson get around the 33 of Cole Haas there, and Dan Dill ducked into pit road. So that'll now leave 13 drivers on the lead lap, as Michael Sturgill, who's going through the bus stop right now, is our last car on the lead lap. I believe Cody Levitt just took a little bit of a scenic route, and he is going to come down pit road. So a lot of drivers actually coming down pit road here a little bit earlier than we had anticipated. So they're coming down here, and you see Jeff Pogo's down pit road. The 21 is down pit road of Chase Berry, Eric Hawley, Josiah Millen still down pit road. Here comes Stephen Holmes, and then the 38 of Cody Levitt also coming down pit road. It'll be 4 tires around for everybody and a full tank of racing fuel.
Yeah, we were expecting pit stops between 25 and 30 laps. Coming in, a couple laps early here, not going to hurt too bad. But the question is, when will your leaders start making their pit stops?
Yeah, so a lot of these guys going with possibly a 2 pit stop race, as you see the 31 of Donald Bennett being put another lap down by the 58 of Wilson and Davidson. Right now we have 7 drivers, it looks like, as Jim Ott actually is still out there, but timing and scoring jumping around a little bit, so let's wait for the timing and scoring and the pit stops to all kind of cycle through before we start talking about that. But right now I can tell you for sure your top 6 drivers, Wilson, Davidson, Daffler, Brown, Leach, and LaFaro, all still out here on 25 lap old tires. Going to be interesting to see now a couple of these guys that went down and put 4 fresh tires on, what their lap times are going to look like here against your leader of Justin Wilson. Last time by for Wilson, it was a 1 minute 10 second 0.782 lap for Wilson. Let's see where he comes by this time. By up onto the rumble strips. Oh, and look at Davidson back there, a little bit sideways coming off turn number 8. Last lap for Justin Wilson going to be a 1:11.204, so a whole second slower than his last time by. Let's see, where is Eric Hawley? We know Hawley came down and put 4 fresh tires on. So did Jeff Pogo. Where is Jeff Pogo as he comes through the carousel right now? There's the 24 going around the 64 of Mullins. Jeff Pogo trying to chase down that 21 who's right in front of him. That is Chase Berry. Both of them pitting 1 lap ago.
Oh, the 58 of Wilson is off the track coming through the bus stop. He was off in the grass as he comes to the carousel. The 03 of Davidson had gone by him.
A little bit of a mistake there, Jarrett Goodcat. Let's see if we can go back and find out what exactly happened there to Wilson. You see him coming down the backstretch here on our turn 3 replay, down into the bus stops, gets down through the first little half, and oh, it looks like the car just went straight. Something may have happened, or maybe something, he may have damaged the splitter just a little bit with how he came through the grass. And now he's going to bring down that 58 down pit road here on lap 26. He's going to follow the 3 of Davidson down. Looks like 44 of Harrison is down. Also the 90 of Sturgill down pit road.
Yeah, it looks like these pit stops coming just in time for our leader, Wilson.
Yeah, that'll turn over the lead now to Chris Brown. He is the last one on the lead lap that we're still waiting to make a pit stop. Brown not getting credited with leading a lap just yet, but I'm sure he'll stay out there and get a lap led for himself. Chris Brown as he comes down towards corner 7 and 8. Probably going to be looking for the number 1 of Chris Brown down pit road this time. Everybody else has made their stops, and they are down and away with 4 fresh tires and fuel. Here comes the number 1 of Chris Brown. Let's see if he heads towards pit road this time. There it is, the one of Chris Brown going to come down pit road, so that will turn things back over to this battle right here. The 03 right now of Aaron Davidson. It has the second position as he comes through 7 and 8. He'll come back to the stripe, and he will be shown as the leader. Chris Brown did get 1 lap led. Davidson led the last lap before that, and he's shown out front right now of Justin Wilson. It's a long race, not quite halfway. Still 47 laps to go here tonight.
Yeah, on this over 2-mile road course, a lot of racing left. A lot of good racing left. It's going to be fun to see what transpires here.
Yeah, so after the green flag pit stops, your top 5 look like this. Aaron Davidson out front leading the 58 of Justin Wilson. You see those 2 cars pass. Then it's Aaron right here. Aaron Daffler running in the 3rd position. Chase Berry had a really good pit stop, one of the fastest pit stops we've seen all night here from Watkins Glen. He gained a position. He's up into the 4th spot. He's being chased down by little Jeff Pogo there in that pink 24 machine. Jeff Pogo trying to hold on to his top 5 for the time being. He's not pressured from behind right now because Eric Hawley actually had a better pit stop than Luke LaFaro and Jamie Leach. Hawley right now shown in your 6th position. And got himself a little bit of a cushion this time back to the number 20 of Luke LaFaro, and actually damage on the 20 of Luke LaFaro. We'll have to see if that plays any handling difficulties to the number 20 of Luke LaFaro, and I believe I can tell you actually now where the damage came from. If you look at the back of Eric Hawley's number 8 car, it looks like somebody's been into the back of it, and well, if you look at the front there of the number 20 of Luke LaFaro, it kind of matches what we're talking about. Bumper to the rear end of that car, and they kind of match up. Chris Brown, though, came out of the pit road. He is now running 8. Jamie Leach right behind him, running in the 9th position. As look, here comes Jamie Leach. He's going to go to the inside here, and look at him. Oh, he's going to miss his braking point down into turn 1. The 2 of Leach is going to run wide. Crossover move there by the number 1 of Chris Brown. He will carry on. He's going to put the pedal down and try and extend that up through the S's. So Jamie Leach a little hot down into turn 1. That shows you if you're into your braking zone a little late, what could happen.
Yeah, I thought the 2 of Leach was a little hot coming down to turn 1. Just couldn't gather it up and allowed the 1 of Chris Brown to get back around him.
Yeah, so Chris Brown has the new tires now, and he's going to look to drive away from Jamie Leach. He only has 1 lap fresher tires, but I believe that little trip that Jamie Leach just took a little bit through the grass and then kind of sliding him through turn number 1 there going to hurt him just a little bit. Rounding out the top 10, that is going to be the number 9 of Stephen Holmes, and right now running 11, just a little bit behind the number 9 of Holmes. That'd be the 38 of Levitt. And then about 18 seconds later, there's the 5 of Jim Ott. He's back there running in the 12th position. Dan Dill also a little bit farther back. He is the first car 1 lap down. He runs 13th right now. I think if the race ended now and Dan Dill was showed in the 13th spot, I think he might consider this a win here from Watkins Glen.
Yeah, Dan Dill had a bit of a rough start to the season, to say the least, here in the USRA Cup League. He would definitely take this 13th position.
Michael Sturgill runs 14th in the number 90. Then it's Skip Carman running 15th and David Carman running 16th. 17th going to go to John Mullins right now. Jason Eisenhower is 18th. Jason Arison runs 19th, and Michael Bromley runs there in your 20th position. That's your top 20 drivers. As Donald Bent, as you see him back there a little bit sideways, he runs in your 21st position. Jordan Smith runs 22nd. Josiah Millen is shown 23rd. Ira Kohlhaas is 24th. And Yaroslav Mach is 25th. Jared Hagedorn shown 29 laps down, running in your 26th position. And 27th here tonight. Last but not least, that is the 29 of Jason Young. Where's the leader, Jarrett? Well, he's coming through the bus stop, and it looks like Wilson isn't gaining, but isn't losing any ground on the 03 of Davidson.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they're not really gaining or losing, sticking around a half second back. You got the 3 of Daffler, another 2 seconds back from them. But yeah, no real pushing of the envelope yet to get that lead back from Justin Wilson.
Yeah, Justin Wilson probably just kind of out here cruising around trying to see what he can as they're coming up on the 64 of Mullins. Mullins going to pull over. He's going to allow your leaders to go right on by. A class act here from a road course where it's already tight to try and race each other as is, but when you get somebody who's maybe a little bit slower in the mix, they might make a mistake, and then let's just say bad things could happen.
Yes, many bad things can happen here at a road course, but guys being very respectable and staying out of the way of the leaders.
Well, while we're just about halfway, not quite, 44 laps to go here, let's take a ride around the Watkins Glen International Raceway from inside the 58 of Justin Wilson, who runs second. As you just saw that unfold there as we went on board with the 58 of Justin Wilson. He got around the 03 there of Davidson. Now the question is going to be, can he set sail? Can he run away from the 03 of Davidson? So Wilson going to take back over the lead here on lap 33. And it actually looks like he's starting to open that gap up. Already a half-second gap back to the 03 of Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson put a good move on the 03 of Davidson to get that lead back, but Davidson not quite ready to let him go yet, still keeping him within striking distance, but the 58 of Wilson is going to start trying to pull away as they come down the backstretch.
Yeah, not going to be able to pull away because here comes the 03 of Davidson back up through the S's down this backstretch. He has really closed the gap. Not going to be in room to try and dive to the inside of the 58. Both of them hitting the curbs coming through this bus stop. Looks pretty clean for both of them, but taking a peek at the timing and scoring, I believe this 3 of Daffler here starting to close the gap just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to start seeing a little bit of that 3 of Daffler in the rearview mirrors, especially if they keep battling like they are as they come down to turn 8 to the start-finish line.
They're going around the lap down car, the 31 of Donald Bennett. He put his lap marker tonight at 4. 4 laps is what he thought he was going to complete in the Turn 3 Racing Network car. He is not a road course ringer. His road course background for the driver of the 31 comes all the way back in Forza. And, well, he had made the comment that this scan here of Watkins Glen doesn't compare at all. It doesn't line up with what he is used to, the braking points. Just the objects around the track are a little bit different. Just not to his liking. Right now, he has shown 5 laps down as there is still the battle through the bus stop for the lead.
Yeah, the 03 of Davidson all over the back bumper of the 58 of Wilson as they come through the carousel down towards turn 7. Wilson opens up the gap just a little bit as they come down in through turn 7. Still, Davidson's still not there to make a move. See if he can set him up as they come into turn 8. No, not close enough, and it looks like the 58 of Wilson will lead another lap here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, Wilson going to come across the line. He'll lead his 28th lap led out front, and the man who's just out in front of him, that'll be the number 5 of Jim Ott, one of his buddies. And, well, Jim Ott right now, who we normally talk about being at the front of the field when we're making left-hand turns, tonight, making right-hand turns, not in it for the pure lead driver out of Michigan. He is running 12th and on the verge of going one lap down. It'll be a long time then until Justin Wilson can put another one of our lead lap drivers a lap down, because Cody Levitt's about half a track ahead of him right now, running in the 11th position. As look at that closing gap right there that Wilson just had. Ott going to pull over. He's going to let him go. He's going to allow the 03 of Davidson also to go on by. Jared Haggerty also up the track a little bit. He's going to allow all your leaders, all your faster cars, just go ahead, go on by. I'll catch my breath back here, and we'll keep turning laps. So now 11 drivers on your lead lap here, and we're not quite to the halfway marker yet. We're already half the field per one lap down. That's just showing you the pace that these front drivers are working on.
Yeah, these top three drivers definitely putting in a heck of a pace, lapping all the way up to the 12th position. And like we said, Roger, looks like it's going to be a war of attrition. Who can outlast who?
Yeah, with 39 laps to go, 2 laps away from the halfway point here tonight for your Infinite Hero. 250 tonight, presented by Jason Young, and it is a 3-car breakaway. And when we talk about a breakaway, yeah, Daffler is sitting about a 1.5 second, almost 2 seconds back off Davidson and Wilson. As you see Wilson and Davidson go through the bus stop once again. But I mean, look at the gap all the way back to this 4th place driver. That's going to be Chase Berry, and there he comes up out of the S's. He is shown right now 17 seconds back. His helmet may be painted like a smiley face, but right now I don't believe he's grinning like that out there on track. He's probably wondering right now underneath that helmet, what do I got to do to start running down the leaders? It's now almost an 18-second gap to the leaders.
Yeah, it's tough to keep with these leaders when they're setting this kind of pace. And the 03 of Davidson's still not one to let the 58 of Wilson just take off. He is still within at least a half second as they come out of turn 1.
Davidson a little bit out of the groove coming up into the right-hander there for the S's. That's going to lose him a little bit of ground, actually, and now that gap went from being about 2 car lengths all the way to a second, just in the blink of an eye, just like that. So all that ground that Davidson made up, gone. He's going to have to get back on the horse there, or, well, he's going to have to drink a couple more Red Bulls and get jacked back up. As always, he's sideways. He's sideways. He has lost the 03 coming out of the bus stop into the carousel. He turns it around. He doesn't hit anything. Well, now we've talked about all the ground that he lost. He lost even more ground. He just went to reach down and grab a little more speed coming through the bus stop. He's going to go from being right on the heels of Wilson. We're waiting for it to update. Timing and scoring showing, what is that, 11 seconds back. So now he is, now it comes down to almost a rematch of what we saw on Tuesday night here for the USRA. It's Wilson out front with Daffler running second. The difference is Daffler isn't playing taps on the back bumper of Wilson just yet. There is still time for that to happen. Is Daffler playing possum? Is he kind of just hanging back here, letting Wilson think that he has the better car, has the advantage, the upper hand? You never know with these two. Seven laps to go as Daffler works back through. Oh, Wilson is around in the bus stop. That's going to change hands here. Wilson going around. Well, on lap 39, a new leader in Aaron Daffler now. Let's see if we can go back and find what happened to him. 1 lap after we just saw the 03 of Aaron Davidson go around. Let's watch as here comes Justin Wilson up through the S's. What happens when he gets down here, through the backstretch into the carousel? What goes wrong for driver of the Margarita car? We've now seen your 2 leaders have a spin here in the last 2 laps. Oh, it looks like the car wheel hops on entry through the grass. The Margaritaville car goes, and he actually got it pointed in the right direction instantly, but he lost a lot of ground. He is now shown sitting just about 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds now as he comes through turn 1 back up through the S's.
Just when you think the leader is out front and comfortable, a little mistake like that happens and turns everything around. going to be fun to see if the 58 of Wilson can catch the 3 of Daffler and get that lead back.
Yeah, it's sitting at roughly about 3.5 seconds as this time through the bus stop. It's going to be A-OK for Justin Wilson. Aaron Davidson also looks like he's hitting the curbs, and, well, everything's looking all right for the Red Bull driver. So everything in the last 3 laps has kind of been flipped, turned upside down, kind of like Will Smith said it. Now it's Aaron Daffler out front. Justin Wilson. Then it's Aaron Davidson. Aaron's wild in the top 3 here tonight. And Chase Berry is wondering, what does he got to do to close the gap still? 18.5 seconds back. And, well, your leader has spun out. Your second place driver has spun out, and he still can't close the gap.
Meanwhile, all this is happening out front. You have a battle here for the 6th position. It is still the 8 of Eric Holly, the 2 of Leach, and the 20 of Luke LaFaro battling it out for this 6th position. I believe the 2 of Leach had just gotten around the 20 of LaFaro a couple laps ago. And he is starting to close in on the 8 of Eric Holly as they come down to turn 8.
Are you telling me these 3 drivers have been nose to tail all night long and they still haven't figured out who's going to lead the train?
I don't believe it as I'm saying it, but yes, Roger, that is exactly what's happening.
And just in the back shadows, that is the number 1 of Chris Brown as they come down the front stretch into turn number 1. Oh, it looks like Holly got a little bit loose again. Remember, he almost hit that retaining wall right there before green flag pit stop number 1, where he lost it to Jamie Leach. And then Jamie Leach, if I remember right, got loose. Oh, Holly loose again up through the S's. He is fighting the 8 car. 8 car going to save it once again, but he's going to do exactly what he did last time and lose a bunch of positions. Was there a driver change for the driver of the 8? Did the driver of the 00 who didn't make the call to the green flag here tonight take over for the 8 car under green flag pit stops?
Well, if it is the driver of the 00, he is definitely stepping on his you-know-what in that 8 car, too.
Well, it doesn't matter if he drives a Ford or a Chevy, he still steps on it. But that's still actually Eric Holly. The unfortunate thing for the driver of the number 8, though, last time he had a mishap in turn 1, he lost 2 positions. This time, coming up through the S's, he has another mishap in the number 8, and now he loses 3 positions. Question's going to be, can he keep fighting like his back bumper says for breast cancer? All your drivers trying to fight out there. Right now, though, Jamie Leach. Oh, Jared Hagedorn's off in turn number 1 as Jamie Leach just squeaks by there along with Luke LaFaro. We're going to talk about how Jamie Leach has the fresher tires over Luke LaFaro. Could he possibly try and drive away from the 20? Luke LaFaro has all that front end damage. We talk about this being a road course, but we still talk about how the aerodynamics play a factor down the straightaways. And we do have some really fast corners, like coming up through the S's. Maybe once we get down into turns 7 and 8, those are some fast corners on this track. And the damage doesn't really seem to be hurting him too much, but the question is going to be, is it hurting the front tires?
Yeah, you're still, even with a slower road course, you're still going to want the best handling car you can. And eating up those front tires is not going to help anything.
So with 33 laps to go here, Daffler out front, Wilson is second, Davidson is now sitting third. Berry is 4th, Pogo is 5th, Leach is 6th, LaFaro, you see him there, that is 7th. Oh, LaFaro's going to wheel hop it down into turn 1. He's going to blow the corner. He is really trying to get the 20 back underneath him. He has to go through the grass, but he loses a lot of time. He goes from being about a half second back now to about a second and a half back from Jamie Leach. So just like that, blink of an eye, something went awry. And Luke LaFaro, though, how about that? It's not the first save we've seen here tonight. That's probably about, what, the 20th save throughout the entire night that we've seen by these drivers.
Yeah, it's been save after save. As we're starting to close in on green flag pit stops. Gotta wonder if those tires are starting to wear out. You're seeing all these mistakes by these drivers.
Yeah, we're probably sitting at about 4, maybe 5 laps away from the green flag pit stops that these drivers can make. Remember, once we hit 30 to go, these guys got the green light from their spotters and the crew chiefs that they're going to be able to go ahead and come down pit road. Daffler's out front, but now here comes Wilson. Wilson has really chewed into the gap. Wilson now sitting at about 1.1 seconds off your leader.
The 58 of Wilson really has a strong car here. Couple of mishaps already. He's going to want to clean those up, but starting to run down the 3 of Daffler and try and get this lead back as they come through turn 8.
Yeah, it's down to a second and starting to close real quick.
They've pretty much gapped your third place driver here, the 03 of Aaron Davidson, about 8 seconds to your leader of Daffler. With the 20, oh, it looks like the 24 Pogo has gotten around the 21 of Chase Berry for the 4th position.
Yeah, down into turn 1, Jeff Pogo got around Chase Berry for that 4th position. So put little Pogo now into the 4th spot. Chase Berry's not smiling as much anymore from inside that helmet of the 21, as now he sits in the 5th position with green flags looming here, not in the too far future. Well, while we have a little bit of time...
And the 3 of Daffler is off in the grass coming into turn 7. He's side by side with Wilson as they come out of turn 8. And it's a drag race down to the start-finish line. And it looks like the 58 of Wilson is going to lead that lap as they come down to turn 1.
He'll have it at the line, but down into turn 1, Daffler going to have the inside advantage as he's going to take back over the lead, and he's going to try and run back away again. Remember now, that is 3 leaders. Davidson, Wilson, and Daffler. We've seen them all make mistakes while leading this event here tonight from Watkins Glen. The question's gonna be, who's gonna be the one who makes the least amount of mistakes? I'm gonna guess, because it is still a long way back till you can find the 4th place driver, as Daffler has a good bus stop that time. Wilson, not so much. He's gonna lose a little bit of a gap. He's gonna lose a lot of ground, actually, now as they come through the carousel.
Yeah, Wilson hit that rumble strip coming into the bus stop and really upset that car, allowing Daffler to pull away. As they come down to turn 7, Daffler with about a 3 to 5 car length lead on Wilson.
Yeah, Daffler dipped the right side tires of the number 3 into the grass that time, coming out of turn number 7. Oh, sideways coming out of turn number 8 down the front stretch. Both your leaders, though, going to stay out here. 29 laps to go, and don't forget about Aaron Davidson. There it is. Red Bull gives you the wings, and he gets all jacked up on Red Bull. He's still sitting in the 3rd position. Actually looks like it's 8 seconds back off the leaders. Jeff Pogo, who's coming out of turn number 8 this time by, he's sitting 24 seconds back and sitting 25 seconds back. And that's going to be the 21 of Chase Berry. Sitting 44 seconds out of the lead, going to be the number 2 of Jamie Leach, who's starting to work through lap traffic. And then it's Luke LaFaro right there. And actually now, look, this is a 3-car battle. Because here is the number 1. Oh, sideways for Luke LaFaro out of turn number 8. But here comes the number 1 of Chris Brown.
Chris Brown's starting to put the charge on as he's coming after that number 20 of Luke LaFaro. Oh, LaFaro loose coming out of turn 1. And it looks like Brown is going to get around him. Big wiggle for the 20 of LaFaro.
Yeah, Luke LaFaro hanging on to that 20 car. Not the first time we see the 20 completely sideways here from Watkins Glen. But that's the first big save we've seen out of that California kid. And his car's not California dreaming, that is for sure here tonight. But it might be dreaming, just not of Watkins Glen International. That's pretty positive. We're just going to say that's a statement.
And it looks like the 3 of Daffler must have had some kind of mishap, because he is about 3 seconds back from your leader, Justin Wilson. Not sure what happened to the 3 of Daffler.
Yeah, the tires possibly looking like they are just about gone for the 3 of Aaron Daffler. He's possibly being called to pit road this time by. You might be able to see him come down. Oh, big wiggle out of the carousel that time, coming down to the straightaway. Ooh, Aaron is hanging on for dear life, sitting out just over 3.5-second gap to your leader. You see Davidson still sitting back there running in the 3rd position. The question is going to be, though, can Aaron Daffler make it to pit road before Justin Wilson? As actually, it looks like Daffler going to go give it one more time around here. As you can see him really trying real hard out of turn number 8. Sideways, and the same thing for the man just behind him. Aaron Davidson was complete sideways in the Red Bull car also.
Yeah, I think these leaders are trying to push it as far as they can on these tires to just go one more pit stop and have the freshest tires possible for the last run.
Okay, so 27 more laps here tonight, and it looks like the first man down pit road, it's going to be Jeff Pogo. So with 27 laps to go here, Jeff Pogo is going to take it to pit road. He's going to be the first one to put 4 fresh tires on. He's going to see maybe if he can shoot into that gap just a little bit. As you see him come to his stall, he makes it. Oh, actually, he blows it just a little bit. He had to back up. Now he's pulling forward. Yeah, it looks like Austin Powers in that movie where he gets stuck in the hallway. That's going to be a big costly move by the 24 with Jeff Pogo.
Yeah, Roger, we say it every week. A lot of times we've won and lost on pit road. Pogo definitely losing it there.
Here comes the 3 of Aaron Daffler. He'll be the first one out of your top 3 to bring her down pit road. It looks like Aaron Davidson going to stay out there. So Aaron Daffler, your first one out of your top 3 drivers down pit road. Let's see, where is Jeff Pogo? He does come out in front of your leader, but he is right now shown in the 9th position and the last car on your lead lap. Eric Holly, Cody Levitt down pit road. Jim Ott is also down pit road. Michael Bromley came down 1 lap ago. Chase Berry is also on pit road right now. So there's your leader, Wilson. About 2.5 seconds back behind Jeff Pogo, but I don't believe he's going to be able to run him down on these older tires.
No, he's definitely not on these very, very old tires. I'll go out on new ones. Be interesting to see if the 58 of Wilson comes down pit road this time by.
Yeah, he didn't have any pressure from behind. Remember, Daffler was started to kind of lose ground, but it does look like here he comes. He's going to come down. Right now, he's going to put 4 fresh tires on with 25 laps to go, and he's going to turn it loose here with the 58. Here comes Aaron Davidson also. He's going to not allow Wilson to get a little bit of advantage on him, so then it's going to kind of turn things over to right here to this battle that's on track. The number 4, or the 4th position of Jamie Leach, and the number 1, who's sitting in 5th, of Chris Brown. They will actually end up, I believe, taking over. No, I'm mistaken, because Aaron Daffler, who's sitting right there, coming through 7 and 8, he will be the one to take over the lead here if he can beat Justin Wilson out of pit road. Wilson's still sitting on pit road. He is now starting to roll away from his pit stop. The question is going to be, where is he going to come out in comparison to the number 3 of Daffler?
Looks like he's just going to sneak out in front of the 3 of Daffler. Daffler is now, there's nothing else left to lose. Just try and run him down.
Yeah, Daffler going to come out looking at about a 2-second gap to your leader of Justin Wilson. Remember, Daffler's tire pressure, though, are up right now. Those tires are a little bit warmer than what the 58 of Justin Wilson's is. As they come through the bus stop for the first time on the cold tires, Wilson looked like he kind of hit the curb pretty hard on the entry there into the bus stop. And that allowed Daffler, look at that gap. Now it's under a second, almost at a 1.5 seconds. Right there, call that about 6 car lengths back to Aaron Daffler.
Yeah, Daffler really starting to put the charge on. Trying to get past Wilson. Get that lead back. As they come through turn 7, down into turn 8. Inching a little bit closer, probably about 3 car lengths now as they come on at turn 8. And Wilson will lead this lap. Daffler still giving chase.
Yeah, Daffler still sitting at a 0.5 second gap. As look at them as they come down into the corner. They're going to close that gap a little bit. Look at it now. Through 2-3 car lengths back to the 3 of Aaron Daffler. Is Wilson playing games with him, or is Daffler just that much quicker right now? Look at him come up through the S's. He's going to be all over the back bumper of the 58.
Daffler really charging hard as he is all over the back of 58. Looks like he's going to try the outside here as they come through the bus stop. not able to make the move as they come out of the bus stop down into the carousel, but all over the back of the 58 of Wilson.
Yeah, this is the battle for the lead with 24 laps to go here for the Infinite Hero 250 here tonight, presented by Jason Young. Looks like the 58 wiggling her back and forth. Not sure if he's trying to get more heat into the tires or if he's playing games with the 3 of Daffler.
They come out of turn 8. Daffler is still not able to make the move. It looks like he's going to try and draft him coming down the front stretch. Is he going to dive down to the inside coming to turn 1? Nope, not quite close enough to make the move. As they come out of turn 1 and come through the S's, Daffler side by side as he's through the grass as they come up through the S's.
Yeah, Daffler got a better run that time out of turn number 1. Now he's in position. He's going to take over the lead here coming up through the S's, through the right-hander. He has the lead, and he's going to pull it by about 2 car lengths lead down the backstretch. They go, heading down towards the bus stop.
They come in through the bus stop. Daffler starting to open up a little bit of that gap, about 5-6 car lengths now as they come through the carousel.
Yeah, can he run away now with that 3 machine and hide as he's not gonna? Here comes that draft into effect down that long straightaway. Justin Wilson closing the gap, now 2 car lengths, 2.5 car lengths. It's going to be who's going to get the better run here off of turn number 8. Out there in the distance, that I believe is the number 9 of Stephen Holmes, who runs in your 9th position. He is on the lead lap, and he is the last car on the lead lap. The question is going to be, how much is he going to battle to stay on the lead lap here? Little wide that time through turn number 1 here for Aaron Daffler. He still has the lead, though, as they work up through the S's once again.
Yeah, coming up to the top of the S's. Still nobody gaining, nobody really pulling away from each other. They come down the backstretch down towards the bus stop. Looks like Wilson might have gained a little bit as he's really hitting the curb as they come into the bus stop. And they come down through the carousel. Still about 3 car lengths as they come out of the carousel down towards turn 7.
There it is, looking off that back roof here of the number 3. Look at Wilson really close the gap right to the back bumper he goes. Look how close they race here on the road course from Watkins Glen. Both these drivers trying to reach down. Oh, Daffler a little bit higher through turn 8 there. Wilson was right down on the curbing. Look at the run that Wilson is getting as he closes at the start-finish line. He's not going to have enough time to tuck to the inside, though. He'll have to settle for second for the time being. But he's going to get actually a little bit better of a run through turn 1.
Yeah, Wilson really all over the back bunker of Daffler as they come up through the S's. And as they come out of the S's, Wilson looked like he was going to peek his nose to the inside. Oh, he goes to the outside as they come into the bus stop. And he sneaks back in behind the 3 of Daffler as they come through the bus stop.
Aaron blocking a little bit down the backstretch, but now here comes Wilson. He thought to go to the inside on the carousel. Didn't have it because Daffler threw the block. Down the long straightaway here, headed towards 7 and 8. It looks like a good gap distance this time from Daffler to Wilson. No other drivers battling on track with each other. Actually, kind of really spread out. About 9 seconds back from these leaders, you will find Aaron Davidson. Then 25 seconds later, you find Chase Berry. 28 seconds, you find Jeff Pogo. 45 seconds, you find the number 1 of Chris Brown as your leaders are back into turn number 1 here. Jamie Leach runs 7th, nobody around him. Oh, Daffler gonna go around. He'll find the inside wall there coming out of turn 1. You saw that live. Got onto that rumble strip, Jared. It just turned the car right.
Yeah, tough break there for Daffler. Just trying to keep out in front of Justin Wilson, giving him everything he's got, and just makes a little mistake and into the inside wall he went.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Aaron Daffler. Now finds himself sitting 5 seconds out of the lead. He's kind of fallen back almost into the clutches of Aaron Davidson. So right now he's going to try and hang on to his life with 20 laps to go here from Watkins Glen. Justin Wilson now has a commanding lead here Now you wonder how much does your spotter tell you to really push it for the 58 of Wilson as he comes back into 7 and 8.
Yeah, well, he still has about 20 laps to go, I believe. He still has a little bit of time, but who knows what that hit to the wall did to the car.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of your leaders make mistakes here tonight, so the question isn't, it's not out of question to ask if Justin Wilson will make another mistake. I mean, we've seen it happen 4 different times from your leaders here, so let's take you through with 19 laps to go here tonight for the Infinite Hero 250, presented by Jason Young. It is Wilson out front. He has led the most laps. 39 laps have been led by the man out front right now. And then it's the 5-second gap back there. You find the 3 of Aaron Daffler, and right behind him, sitting 3 seconds behind him, that'd be Aaron Davidson. He is running right there in your 3rd position. Remember, he had that spin in the carousel, and after that spin that he had with that 03 car, it's kind of been smooth sailing for the 03, just has not been able to really gain any ground on your leaders here. With no caution flags here from Watkins Glen, it's going to be a large task to see if Aaron Davidson can kind of chew back into the lead. 24 seconds out of the lead, Mr. Smiley, the 21 here out of Florida. That'll be the Chase Berry machine. He right now has a rough, right around 4-second gap over that man, the 24 of Jeff Bogo. He's having a solid top 5 day. He came into the night as your points leader, and he is doing exactly what he needs to come out of Watkins Glen with holding on to the points lead. Behind Jeff Bogo, you're going to find Chris Brown as he battles with the lap down car of Dan Dill. Chris Brown right now running in your 6th spot. He does have a lap led to his name, so that's an extra bonus point for Chris Brown. And then running in the 7th position. Kind of seems like he's been there all night long. That is the number 2 of Jamie Leach. He finds himself running about 50 seconds behind your leader here. And behind Jamie Leach, that's going to be the number 20 here of Luke LaFaro. Remember, we saw LaFaro have a little bit of issues coming up through the S's not too long ago with that DC Solar number 20. He's running in the 8th position. He came into the night just a handful of points out of your points lead. Doesn't look like he's going to lose too many positions. Sorry, it doesn't look like he's going to lose any positions on your point standings, but he's going to kind of give Jeff Bogo a little bit of a gap that he needs. Eric Hawley runs in your 8th position. He's had a little bit of a rough night. You've seen him kind of get loose down there in turn number 1. You've seen him loose up through the S's. And oh, look at Cody Levitt. Levitt's inside the top 10 for the 2nd time here tonight, running 10th. About 1 minute and 5 seconds out of your lead position. He runs 10th, trying to run down Eric Hawley. Stephen Holmes runs sitting there 11th. He is your last driver on the lead lap, but he is at a gap deficit of 1 minute and 7 seconds. And right behind him, you see it, there's your leader, the 58 of Justin Wilson, starting to bear down along the back of that number 9 of Holmes.
As out front, still your leader is Justin Wilson in that 58 car. 3 of Aaron Daffler started to make up a little bit of ground, but then lost about 2/10 on that last lap. So I think that damage is going to hinder Daffler for the rest of this race. And looks like the 03 of Aaron Davidson about 8 seconds off the lead of Justin Wilson.
And right now, Cody Levitt, Steve Holmes are trying to hang on here with 16 laps to go this time by Levitt. Oh, down wheel hops it into turn 1 really wide for the 38 of Levitt. That's going to allow Stephen Holmes to get by him. Now Levitt's the man on the hot bubble. He's got to get that black and yellow 38 machine, the 7.5 Brewing out of Las Vegas. Needs to kind of find a steady wheel, I guess you want to say, around here. As always, sideways coming up through the S's. And he's going to allow your leader here of Wilson just to go on by here before the bus stop.
Yeah, playing it smart, not one to get involved in this battle for the lead, as Daffler still continuing to try to run down Justin Wilson. Shaved about 2/10 off that last lap. And we'll see what the gap is. It looks like Justin Wilson come across the line As you can see, Daffler way in the back as he crosses the line. And he has it down inside in 3.712 seconds behind your leader. He took almost a half a second out of that lead in that lap. See if he can continue that pace to the checker.
Yeah, with only 15 laps to go here tonight, Justin Wilson looking to see if he could be the first man to make it 6 races in a row. Not 6 cup races in a row that he has won, but 6 complete races here with the USRA. He has won 3 races in a row over with the Xfinity cars, and now trying to look to go three in a row here with the Cup cars tonight. 15 laps to go is still a lot of time here at Watkins Glen. Jarrett, you were just talking about how Daffler's got it down, sitting right about 3.5 seconds back, and then Aaron Davidson is sitting there as he's actually under 6 seconds now. So Davidson's really started to find his groove. Oh, as he is sideways off the curbing there in turn 7. Gets her caught up, though, doesn't point her in the wrong direction as he's a little bit sideways. You can tell he is really starting to push as he is actually about 1.5 seconds off the back bumper of Aaron Daffler that time by at the line with 14 to go.
Yeah, he's definitely starting to close in on the back of the 3 of Daffler's. Daffler only took about 1/10 out of Justin Wilson's lead that lap. But Davidson really starting to put the charge on. He wants that second position back.
Yeah, not only does he want the second position here, there is still enough time with 14 laps to go that he could possibly run down Justin Wilson, but you just never know. Cody Levitt's a lap down. Stephen Holmes still fighting. You barely saw the car in the picture. That is your leader, Justin Wilson. Can he lap inside to the top 10? We saw him do it on Tuesday night with the Xfinity program. Let's see if he can do it here tonight. He's going to get 13 laps to go as he works down into turns 7 and 8.
So he comes into 8. Coming off 8 down to the start-finish line. Gonna lead another lap here. As you can see off in the distance, the 3 of Daffler and the 03 of Davidson. It looks like Davidson cut into that lead of Daffler a little bit, but Wilson gained on Daffler that lap.
Yeah, you gotta ask yourself at this point, is there some engine damage done to the 3 of Aaron Daffler? We've seen him been into the wall now twice with the nose of the 3 car. He's still pretty quick as you see him really close the gap on the 38 there of Cody Levitt. But you gotta ask, is there engine damage now done to the 3? Levitt's going to move to the outside, allow Daffler, and it looks like he's going to allow the 03 of Davidson to come on by him. That time by, actually, Aaron Davidson lost a little bit of ground to Daffler. Remember, it was about a 1/2 second gap. Now Daffler kind of stretching it out a little bit. Now it's back to a 1 second gap. Justin Wilson looking to go around the 44 here of Jason Harrison. Jason missing the hood on that 44 car as Wilson gave him a little bit of a shot down the front stretch. Oh, wheel hop by the 58. Your leader of Justin Wilson wheel hopping down there into turn 1. I'm surprised he was able to gather it up as well as he was. But now remember, he was sitting at, what was that, a 3.5 second gap back to Aaron Daffler? Now it's a 1.2 second gap and it's closing. And Aaron Davidson is also starting to close. Now he's at 2 seconds. So it's going to be a 3-way battle here in just a moment if Justin Wilson doesn't find the right spot.
And just when you think you know what's going to happen, Justin Wilson has the lead in hand, makes a little mistake, again allowing Daffler and Davidson to close back up on him as we close in on 10 laps to go.
Yeah, coming down the long straightaway here into turns 7 and 8. It is right now under a second gap. Aaron Daffler sitting at about 0.8 seconds back, and Aaron Davidson's hitting at a 1.5 seconds back. As Davidson's sideways out of turn number 7. He is really pushing that Red Bull car to its limits. The question is, does he have the tires left?
Yeah, I don't know how much either of those cars behind Wilson have left, or even the car of Wilson. And they have been driving these cars very hard, making mistakes, damage on almost every car, and this is going to be a great race to the finish.
Yeah, that time by, though, with Aaron Davidson kind of getting sideways with the Red Bull machine out of turn 7. That took his second and a half and now stretched it to about 2-second gap. But your lead is cut now to half second between Wilson. And Wilson bobbled that time coming through the bus stop, so it's going to allow Daffler to close up just a little bit. And actually, Daffler kind of slid a little coming out of the bus stop, so that kind of opened back up. So it kind of washed it out that time by. Aaron Davidson, though, was the big gainer that time through the bus stop.
Yeah, only about maybe 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths as Daffler gets back to the back bumper of the 58 of Wilson as they come out of turn 8. He's going to try and draft up to the back bumper as they come down the front stretch, down to turn 1. And he will gain maybe a car length on the 58 as they come out of turn 1 as they head towards the S's.
Yeah, you saw that time by. It's 10 to go here tonight from Watkins Glen, and it is go time. Justin Wilson, Aaron Daffler, Aaron Davidson, who is going to walk away here tonight as the hero from Watkins Glen. There you see the 90 of Michael Sturgill is about to go a lap down. Right now, Sturgill's running in the 12th spot, 1 lap down. Your leaders have caught him just at the wrong time coming through the bus stop. There's absolutely no room for drivers to go too wide. Remember last year back at Watkins Glen what happened to, I believe it was Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. They didn't get along after that one. They just didn't make too wide work, and too wide just was not going to work there with Sturgill and Wilson.
Keselowski and Busch not getting along? I don't believe it. But it looks like the 3 of Daffler closing back up to the 58 of Wilson as they come down the front stretch to start-finish line. And it looks like he'll continue to close up as they come down into turn 1. And they come out of turn 1 as they head through the S's. Daffler a little wiggle as they come out of turn 1.
Yeah, a little wiggle also out of the 03 of Aaron Davidson. Davidson starting to fade now back to another 2-second deficit. Every time he gains a little bit, he loses a little bit. So right now sitting at about a 2-second deficit to your leaders who are working down the backstretch back in to the bus stop one more time. There's the 30 of Carbon. He is off. He's going to stay off out of the leader's way. He's going to allow all 3 of them drivers to go ahead. Ooh, a slide by Aaron Davidson. That's going to lose a lot of ground coming through the bus stop this time. So now it's going to be, we're going to call it a 2-horse race here with 9 laps to go, coming to get the 8 to go marker this time by.
They're working their way down to turn 7 and 8. And there's quite a bit of lap traffic in front of these guys. You hope that's not going to play a factor, but you never know here in road course racing what'll happen.
Yeah, they work upon the 33 there of Ira Kohlhaas. Kohlhaas well off the pace with his modified-looking 33. He'll let your leaders go on by and down into turn number 1. Just out in front of your leaders, that's going to be the number 9 of Stephen Holmes. Holmes runs in the 9th position, but he is all over the back bumper of the number 8 of Eric Holly. So those 2 are battling for a position here at the end of the race. And then you got your leaders who are also battling for a win. Jarrett, I don't know if you could just pull over if you're Stephen Holmes and Eric Holly. I know your leaders right now would really hope that they do, but you can't just pull over. They're battling on the lead lap for position.
Yeah, if you're them, you just have to race your race. And it looks like 9 of Holmes is going to pull over for the leaders. And as they close in on the 8 of Eric Holly, it looks like Holly is not going to give it up to their leaders, not yet, as they come down towards turn 7.
Yeah, Wilson all over the back of Holly here down into turn number 7. Daffler is also right there on the back of the 58 there. But all is good through turn 7. Turn 8, here we come. Everybody's going to look to see 7 to go this time by. I believe the 8 of Holly now going to just move over your leaders go by on the left-hand side. So now your leaders have nobody back in front of them once again. Now the battle is on. 7 laps to go here from Watkins Glen, and Holly actually hits the curb down in turn 1. He's going to allow Stephen Holmes to get a good run, and oh, look at Aaron Daffler. Daffler hanging on to it. He was into the grass coming out of turn number 1. That scattered everybody behind him, and here comes the 03 of Davidson. Davidson still in the loud pedal. No, he gets blocked by the number 9 of Holmes as they're coming up through the S's. Just nowhere to go. One groove racetrack right there. And now it's going to be the race for second as here comes Aaron Davidson. He's going to look to go too wide. He passes Holly coming into the bus stop. And then the 03 gets out of shape.
Dappler was really hanging out as they came off of turn 1 through the grass. Just doing everything he can to try and get this win, and it bit him a little bit. If he has to try to reel back in the 58 of Wilson as they come down to turn 7.
Yeah, Wilson down into 7. Now here comes Daffler. Daffler going to hit the apex there on turn 7. And looking out the front nose of that car, it's looking at about just under a second and a half. Right behind him, then is going to be the 03 of Aaron Davidson running third. That is a 2-second deficit. So your front 3 separated in between 2 seconds. That's the gap for the front 3. 6 laps to go as they all make their way through turn number 1. Everybody actually looks like they had a really good turn that time through turn 1. And Justin Wilson, though, looking out in front of him, he sees the 81. That is Dan Dill. Dill right now running in your 14th spot, 2 laps down, missing the hood for that Cardinal. No longer really sitting on the hood there of that car, as a little bit of camber also built up into the left front for that Mustang as they come down the backstretch in through the bus stop. Here they go once again.
And it looks like the 81 of Dill is holding up the 58 of Wilson just a little bit, as nowhere to pull over in the bus stop as they come through the carousel. And that's going to allow the 3 of Dappler to close back in on the 58 of Wilson as they come down the straightaway down towards turn 7.
Yeah, Dan Dill going to hold up the leader just a little bit. And now that he's got around him, now Daffler's got to find a way around him. He's got to find a way around real quick. Dill not going to give. Oh, God, looks like Daffler may have gave the 81 a little bit of a bump going down into turn number 8 there. Got him out of the way as quick as he could. 5 laps to go. 5 fingers in the air from the flagman. It is now a half-second gap between Justin Wilson and Daffler. And it looks like Aaron Davidson has started to close a little bit, sitting at right around a second and a half back to the third-place machine. He's really got he's wiggle out of Aaron Davidson back there, who's sitting in third. It's still a 2-horse race for the time being as they go back up through the S's.
Daffler really gaining some ground on Wilson as they come up through the S's. Down the backstretch towards the bus stop, see if he'll be able to get right back to the back bumper of Wilson as they come through the bus stop. Not able to make up any ground as they come through the carousel.
Yeah, it looks like Wilson really tried to back up the carousel a little bit. That did allow Daffler to kind of close the gap, but look at Wilson try to power off the corner. He's going to extend it by about a half a car length already before we hit halfway down the straightaway. Then that draft kind of pulls Aaron Daffler back into the picture. A 2-car length gap down into turn number 7. Coming towards 8, we're going to see 4 laps to go as they come off turn number 8.
And as they come off turn 8, still nose to tail is the 58 of Wilson and the 3 of Daffler. They come down into turn 1. Daffler really gaining on the 58 of Wilson as they came down to turn 1. He's still right there as they come off turn 1, going up through the S's.
Yeah, coming down into turn 1, hard on the brakes for the 3 of Aaron Daffler. He kind of took about a car length of that lead out of it. Look at him use all the racetrack coming up through the S's. He was up against the guardrail on the on the right-hand turn there. Now down the backstretch, they go into the bus stop once again. Only 3 more times are going to come through this bus stop, and so far here tonight, Aaron Daffler's been a little bit better than Justin Wilson through the bus stop, but then Wilson's been better through this carousel. Look at him, he's right down there on the bottom. Daffler going to lose the front end of the car. He's going to slide just a little bit, as Wilson didn't get the power down coming out of the carousel, and that will allow Daffler to really close the gap back up. These guys, little mistake, one after another. One makes it, then the other makes it. 3 laps to go, coming to get 3 to go this time by.
Yeah, these guys pushing very hard, making little mistake after little mistake, and they better clean it up or that's going to allow the 03 of Aaron Davidson to close right back up on him as they come down into turn 1. Daffler right back up to the back bumper of the 58 of Wilson as they come out of turn 1.
Yeah, call out about a half car gap distance. Now opens up to about a car length and a half as they enter into the S's. You know, each driver has their little bit strong points, and there's a strong point for Aaron as he closes right back up. Call that about a car length that time out of the S's. Down into the bus stop they come down this backstretch here. Aaron thought about jetting to the inside, didn't have the momentum quite built up. Who's going to be cleaner through the bus stop? It looks like that time through the bus stop, Justin Wilson had a little bit of an advantage. But don't look now, back under the 2-second barrier. That's going to be Aaron Davidson. He's just sitting back there.
Yeah, Aaron Davidson's starting to creep into the rearview mirrors a little bit as we're coming down for 2 laps to go, but the 3 of Daffler is all over the back bumper of Wilson as they come into turn 8, just looking to the outside.
Yeah, I don't know, coming into 7, if that was a little bit of a bump from the 3 of Daffler to Wilson, or if Wilson just wheel hop popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more laps here from Watkins Glen. Who's going to be the hero in the Infinite Hero 250? We're about to find out here in just 2 laps. Turn 1. Oh, Daffler sideways in the 3s, trying to save it. That may have just sealed the deal for Justin Wilson. All he has to do is look out the windshield and run away and hide here.
Yeah, Daffler with another slip-up as they come out for turn 1, but was able to save it. But I'm not sure if that saved his race, though, as Wilson pulled a little bit of a gap as they come through the bus stop.
Yeah, as this all actually is happening, Wilson didn't get through turn 1 all that good himself, because actually look at Aaron Davidson. Now it's a 1-second gap back to Aaron Davidson. So it is going to be a 3-car race here on the final lap. Who's going to make less mistakes? They got about 3 miles left here from Watkins Glen. Remember, the final lap's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a 2.42-mile gap, and it's going to be Wilson. Daffler nose to tail as Daffler got there and then slid a little bit out of 7.
Yeah, as they come off of turn 8, Wilson with a bit of a wiggle. Daffler closing up as they come to get the white flag. Daffler drafting Wilson as they come down into turn 1.
Yeah, on the final time down into turn number 1, it's going to be Wilson first down into 1. Oh, it's actually Wilson not back to the throttle that hard, but Daffler going to have to go through the grass. It's going to be a battle up through the S's. Daffler's been stronger through the S's here. Look at him, he is all over the back bumper, almost into the wall, maybe a little bit of sparks off the right front of the 3 as they work down the backstretch.
Coming down the backstretch, looks like Wilson opening up a little bit of a gap from the 3 of Daffler as they come into the bus stop. Daffler closing up on the back of the 58 of Wilson, and he gives a little bump as they come off in through the carousel.
Yeah, coming through the carousel for the final time, a little bit of a bump from the 3 to the 58. The 3 going to lose the nose, though. He's going to lose the nose coming out of the carousel. That's going to open up about a 2-car length gap for Justin Wilson. 2 more corners going to decide it here. Davidson sitting now under a second. He is lurking in the background. Final 2 corners. Daffler going to close the gap. He's not going to get to the back bumper here. Down into the final corner, though. Wilson going to drive it in too hard. He is going to find the wall coming out of the final corner. New leader, Aaron Daffler, going to see the checkered flag here from Watkins Glen. And Aaron Davidson coming back for a strong second-place finish. Justin Wilson, though, hitting the final wall. He kept it pretty clean all day. Remember, he looped it in the bus stop, and then it came down to the final corner, and Justin Wilson just kind of blew it. And looks like, let's see where the rest of your contenders are here tonight. Chase Berry coming through 7 and 8 for the final time with the 21 KB machine here. He is being shown right now in your 4th spot. He'll come across finishing 4th here tonight. Jeff Pogo also coming out of turn number 8. He is shown 5th. He will be shown the checkered flag. A 5th place finish for Jeff Pogo. He'll extend that points lead just a little bit. Right behind him, coasting across the line. Nobody in his rearview mirror. That'll be the number 1 of Chris Brown. Credit him with a 6th place finish. And way back here, still coming through turn 7 and 8. That is the number 2 here, Jamie Leach. He'll come home in your 7th spot. Luke LaFaro will hang on as he comes through turn 8. As he's going through the grass, hitting the wall just a little bit. You hit everything else out there, my friend. Might as well be perfect on the day. Luke LaFaro will be your final car on your lead lap here tonight, finishing 8th. Eric Holly finishes 9th. Stephen Holmes rounds out your top 10. But that man right there, Aaron Daffler, Aaron Davidson, and Justin Wilson are your top 3 finishers here tonight from Watkins Glen as you see him come down the front stretch here. We're going to step away. We're going to see if we can get a word in with your top 3 finishers. Don't go anywhere, race fans. You're going to want to have to hear what these 3 drivers have to say after that exciting Watkins Glen race. And welcome back here to the Watkins Glen International Raceway, fans. It was the Infinite Hero 250, and we saw a bunch of heroes out there tonight. Justin Wilson had the most laps led. He led 57 laps. Unfortunately, it came down to the last lap for the battle for the win here. And unfortunately, he is not going to be your winner, but I did catch up with the driver of the 58. Justin, what more did you need there? You led the most laps. You had a fast Margaritaville car. You're just coming up short here tonight.
That last stint, I overdrove it way too early and really burned my tires up. So really at the end, I just needed better tires.
Better tires is what you need. You put on one heck of a show here tonight. Tell us about your background with road course racing. You seem to, even on Tuesday, be one of the fastest guys here on the Watkins Glen circuit.
Oh, it's just a matter of just logging laps. I've raced many races here, so it's just, I mean, in all reality, it just comes down to consistency and logging laps, and you'll really start to get the gist of them.
Well, you definitely have the gist of it. Unfortunately, though, I do have some bad news for you. You will not be the first one in USRA history to win 6 consecutive.
Yeah, there's still plenty of races left.
That is very true. But, you know, we're here at Watkins Glen. We've been here all week with the Xfinity car. We're here tonight with the Cup car. We're going to go to a little bit different style of a track next week. It's the Lady in Black. It's the throwback. How do you feel going into Darlington?
That should be a pretty good one. Like I said, there's a lot of really good guys in here, so it's going to be really crazy to see when we go to a pretty technical oval and see what really happens.
Well, that's next week, but before we kind of let you go here tonight to celebrate a third-place finish, who do you got to thank on that 58 Margaritaville car?
Oh, I got to thank, Jim Ott, Chase, Aaron, who won. I got to thank him for all the damage on my car. And USRA guys, man, they gave me a place to race, and have fun. And you guys for putting on the show for Thursdays, man. It's really good.
Well, there you heard it from your third-place finisher tonight. He led the most laps. Unfortunately, not going to walk away with the winner. See the little bit of left front damage that came out of the last corner. Just needed one more corner here tonight. But, Jarrett, I think you caught up with your second-place finisher, and I think he's got a pretty clean Red Bull car.
I am here with the 03 of Aaron Davidson. I'm sorry, that wasn't right. I'm here with the 03 of Davidson, and how was your night?
First off, Jared, that was right. You got 2 Aarons in here. It was good. We did make a lot of mistakes. Spin out going into the carousel, and then in pit road, my crew saying that I was too far to the right. But, just glad to rally back, and I was able to hang in there with these guys once I was able to get up to them, even though rear tire grip was atrocious. But overall, a good night. Glad to bring it home second.
Yeah, I mean, you top 3 guys basically ran away from the rest of this pack by almost a full minute on 4th place. And just how do you guys get so fast at this track? Do you just put in a lot of laps, or how do you do it?
Oh, yeah, just a lot of laps. I've watched the best and how they run laps, and especially at road courses, you can really get a feel for them. How the better drivers do it. So just logging a lot of laps too. Like Justin said, the more you do or more you practice, the better you're going to be at them.
And as we move from this road course and head to Darlington, a tricky oval track, what are your thoughts going into Darlington?
I mean, I haven't raced Darlington too much. Again, I'm going to have to log a lot of laps there. It definitely wasn't my favorite last time we were there.
Well, Aaron, good luck next week at Darlington, and congratulations on your 2nd place. And before we let you go, who would you like to thank?
I'll just like to thank the USRA guys, iRacing, Red Bull, Chevrolet, all my sponsors. Everybody who puts this team together week to week.
All right, well, there you have it from our 2nd place finisher, the 03 of Aaron Davidson. And I believe Roger is caught up with our winner.
Yeah, he may have not led the most laps here from the Watkins Glen International Raceway, but you led the last one, the one that counted. Aaron Daffler, you made a lot of mistakes out there tonight, but you still came out on top.
Yeah, I sure did. I didn't expect to keep catching up to Justin, but I'm pretty sure he burned his tires up when we were racing at the beginning of that last run. So I came back from it. I screwed up a lot at the end, but still worked out.
Yeah, you spun that car around, I believe, in total. I think the spin counter had you at 3 times pointed in the wrong direction. How were you able to rally back throughout this race?
Every time I just came back out and kept trying to drive harder and harder, which wasn't really smart, but it worked out. So
that was able to work out for you. Here, we know it was disappointing on Tuesday night for yourself as you were battling for the win with Justin Wilson. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. You finished one spot better here from Watkins Glen. This isn't the last time we're going to head to a road course. Are you looking forward to seeing Sonoma in just a 2 months' time?
Kind of. I've actually never raced at Sonoma before, so that's going to be interesting. But I do look forward to it. I'm getting better at road courses.
Oh, you're just getting better at road courses?
Yes, yeah. I have not logged that many laps at road courses, actually.
Well, A-Rod, you made it seem pretty easy out here from Watkins Glen. Next week, we heard from your other 2 competitors here on the podium finishes. The lady in black, it's kind of an egg-shaped. Is that something that you're looking forward to with the Chevrolet team to head over there, or are you going to kind of look past that for the off week?
I look forward to it. I like that track. It's really tough. The Cup cars might be a little different. I haven't ran those there yet in the new package. We'll see how that goes, but I really like the B cars there, so I do look forward to it.
Well, that's in 1 week's time. But before we get down there to the Darlington Raceway, who do you got to thank for putting that number 3 car in victory lane here from Watkins Glen?
Justin Wilson, Pace, Jim Ott. We all practice a lot. Justin's helped me quite a bit with the road course side, so racing around him definitely helps get faster. He has a lot of tips and pointers, so definitely got to thank him a lot.
Well, there you heard it from your winner here tonight, race fans. Aaron Daffler making his first trip to victory lane here with the USRA Cup Series. So congratulations to him and all of his team. Jarrett, though, 75 laps from Watkins Glen here tonight. Seen a lot of guys off the track, a lot of guys, wheel hopping. It's just something we're not used to seeing. And a lot of these guys, let's face it, aren't used to actually turning right themselves.
Yeah, we definitely seen a lot of, I guess, carnage, you want to say. Guys on and off the track all night. But definitely a good test for all these guys. But I'm sure they're glad to get back to just turning left next week.
And next week, they're going to head to the Lady in Black for the throwback race here for the USRA. You're going to be able to catch all that next week. But Aaron Daffler winning here from Watkins Glen. Aaron Davidson hanging in there. He finished his second. Justin Wilson, heartbreaker, but he'll take the third place finish. He'll keep his chin up. He'll keep going. Chase Berry was silent all night long. Just kind of sat back there in the 4th and 5th place. He comes home 4th. Jeff Pogo extends the points lead coming out of Watkins Glen. He finishes in your 5th position. But you'll be able to catch all the action from Darlington next Thursday night right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. We also got to give one more shout out, though, to the Infinite Heroes in the organization and everything they do. Tonight's race was brought to you by the Infinite Heroes and Jason Young. But catch us next week from Darlington right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network.